question on everybody's mind right now is, I've heard about this Daggerheart game from Darrington Press, but how do I play? Rachel, if I came to you and said, I really want to play Daggerheart, how do I do it? What would you tell me?
Okay, so first I would ask you, well, have you ever played any tabletop role-playing games previously?
Yeah, I've played some other ones, yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition?
I've heard of it.
Okay, great. So then you're pretty familiar with the concept of rolling dice.
Yeah.
You love a good die.
Yeah, clickety-clack.
Okay, great, the clickety-clack math rocks. Fantastic. Then you're already halfway there. Because this system's not very different from any other tabletop role-playing game, TTRPG, which is that you are going to try to make attempts of things, and to do so, you are going to roll a die or dice. In Daggerheart, the key difference between a lot of other systems is that instead of using a d20, which we're going to talk about in a second, you, the player, are going to use 2 d12s. Those are 12-sided dice. They need to be distinct. They need to look distinct, because what you're going to do when you roll these, and go ahead and give a test. Let's see. What's something that you're trying to do? You walk into a tavern, the lights are low, there's a barmaid behind the tavern, bar top, there's someone playing a violin. What are you most interested in? What are you trying to do?
I think I desperately need to know where the bathroom is because of the road meats that I've been eating.
Ooh, incredible.
So I need attention. I need somebody to tell me where to go. Where's the latrine?
Great. So let's go ahead and make an intelligence check.
Okay, so I just roll these?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And you said I need to designate them in some way.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. We're going to talk about that right now. So first, one of these is going to represent hope in the world, and the other one is going to represent fear. Now, this isn't going to matter initially for your roll. You're still going to just add these together when you do it. And let's say you have a +1 modifier, by the way. So go ahead and roll these first, and we're going to add these, and then we'll talk about that hope and fear.
Okay.
Ooh.
Not bad.
This is a pretty good roll, right?
Okay.
Because you have an 8 on the fear die and a 7 on the hope die. So some quick math.
15 and my modifier +1, 16.
16. Now, seeing the bathroom in this location, pretty easy. You can see the toilet. It's clearly marked. Great, no problem.
Perfect.
A 16 is high enough that you see it. It's a success. Great. And that is where it would stop in D&D 5th edition, right? But in this system, it's not going to stop there because that hope and fear matters, right? So sure, you succeeded, but in this system, we have mixed success. You rolled higher on your fear die, so it's a success with fear. So I, the GM, get to take a fear token on my side that I'm going to use. Let's just call it this rubber ducky. Why not?
Let's do it.
And then something bad needs to happen. The hope and the fear is going to tell you how the world is evolving around you, so that it's never just the GM making the decision. You see that the bathroom is right there. The problem is you also see your ex-girlfriend in front of it.
Okay.
Helga.
Oh, not Helga.
It's the tavern keeper's sister, and she looks pissed.
I shared this with you in confidence.
And so listen, nothing is in confidence at the table. Am I right, folks?
Boy.
That's not true. That's not true. What happens at the table stays at the table. However, in this case, we have an audience, so we got to talk about it.
Yeah.
She's there. I'm using that fear token to immediately put Helga there, and she's going to jump into combat with you, which we're going to talk about a little bit later.
And hopefully there will be better circumstances later where maybe we reverse that a little bit and I roll higher on hope.
Ooh, an incredible point. So in a hopeful situation, you see the toilets, you immediately know where to go. Oh my gosh, but there is a line out in front of it. But that hope, as someone's standing there in line, they catch a glimpse of someone they know across the tavern, and they wave, start heading in that direction. You're the first in line to the toilets.
Incredible.
And
the only other thing that I'm excited about, I love this mechanic.
Yeah.
Even if they're ones, even if you roll snake eyes, as long as you roll the same number on both of your duality dice, that is a critical success.
Yeah.
No matter what it is. Yeah. So not only am I making it to the bathroom, maybe there's a loose brick. I pick it up. What's this? A secret message? Information on a stash of loot nearby? And that is why I love Daggerheart. Because you as the GM can sprinkle in anything you want. Put your finger on the lever, good or bad, tragedy, comedy, whatever way you want to do it. And your players get to react to that in turn.
Yeah.
Collaborative storytelling.
Yeah, it's just wonderful to have. And this is something that, by the way, is philosophically happening across a lot of tabletop at this point, right? We know that as players and as GMs, or Dagger Master if you're nasty, we know that we want to see the game be more agile, more flexible, really change dynamically depending on whoever you're playing with. So it adds this mechanic in it. I know that Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere RPG, I think that's coming out at some point, I don't know. It has the fate die, right? Where you're going to, separate from your role, you're going to challenge fate and see how the winds move in or against your favor. This is just a way of bootstrapping in the evolution of the world when you're playing. You don't have to, as the GM, do as much heavy lifting, in my opinion, because the dice are going to tell you, are your players having hopeful circumstances or are they having fearful circumstances? It gives you a breadcrumb trail of how to move through your game.
And it eliminates some of those elements from other games, whether it's Dungeons and Dragons, you are rolling an insight check.
Sure.
And you roll middling.
Yeah.
And your GM, or Matt Mercer has said this 1,000 times, hard to read.
Hard to read.
That kind of ends the conversation, right?
Yeah,
There's nothing that really happens. There's nothing that spins out of that. So I think that we can even see from the evolution of storytelling in that one actual play series, we can see the philosophy of game design in how this works. Another part of that is initiative order.
Ooh, very good
Critical Role has a massive table.
Very good
So you've got 8 people waiting for their turn.
Yep.
Or I suppose, if you include the GM, you've got so many people waiting for, oh, now I have to do something.
Yep.
They can feel surprised when the initiative comes back around to them.
This is not uncommon for anyone that's ever played tabletop, by the way. Everybody has played those tables that have 5, 6, 7, 8, people.
Well, from Roleplay Grab Bag, my buddy Kevin had a 13-person table before.
Wild man.
Yeah.
Kevin's just right off camera right now and making eye contact with him to let him know he's crazy. That's insane.
Indeed. But what was always great about games that found a way to move quickly through initiative was that everyone was more invested and involved.
Yeah.
This game doesn't have initiative.
No.
It's dramatic storytelling. So essentially, if you're in a combat scenario or some encounter that requires an order of movement between GM and players, then you as a player can simply say, guys, I have a grenade. Can I go first? Can I throw my grenade before everybody runs in?
Yeah.
And now it's a conversation. So nobody goes, just going to grab my phone real quick. Going to see what movies are playing at the local. So, it's my turn?
Yeah.
What? Death saves? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So in that manner, it is more collaborative and everyone's doing more at once together, and individually the spotlight is easier to track and follow.
It fixes a lot of problems that we have always had at tabletop. I actually have been at those tables where you can't get your players immersed in the game because it's 45 minutes between the point that it's your turn and the next time you go.
Yeah.
So if you're the person that's hosting, what are you doing? Well, you're up making soup or guacamole or you're doing a ton of different things. This game doesn't have that. You are locked in because it's not turn-based RPG, which is, we know, by the way, if you're a video game player, most of the world, unless you're playing Clara Obscura Expedition 33, most of the world has moved away from turn-based role-playing games because we want faster, we want more dynamic, we get to move away from a lot of those strictures. This game is just the natural conclusion of the way we want to play games. You want to go? If your party says you can, great. And I do want to talk a little bit about something that people would have seen in the open beta that is different now. The action tracker. Some of you guys would have remembered that in the open beta version of the game, there was a little card called the action tracker. Spenser Starke actually introduced it as a potential mechanic at one point that we tried out. It's been removed from the final version.
It's gone.
I think it might still be there as an optional. Is it? I don't know. I don't know. We haven't read all of it yet. It's the release day. It's May 20th right now, nerds. Anyway, so for that action tracker though, it's gone now. They've simplified the way that you're going to jump in. It's all just hope and fear based. If you roll with hope, you, the player, accrue hope to use later.
Mm-hmm.
If you roll with fear, the GM is going to get to use that fear to activate their adversaries to shift the spotlight. It's super swingy. It's so good. Love it.
So if you love drama and excitement and collaborative storytelling, this might be the game for you. We here at Roleplay Grab Bag and at the Faint Divinities, we think you should try it out.
Yeah.
So that's our long-winded way of saying it is your turn to roll. So tell us how you like it.
Roll with hope.